Hey, it's Diane from Teach Pre-K. I'm here to talk to you about gingerbread math activities. Now, these activities are available in my All About Gingerbread 5-day lesson plan in my Teachers Pay Teacher store, which is called Teach Pre-K. I also have this super cool close read unit. It's close read strategies and story stretchers for the gingerbread man. So a couple of these activities I'm going to show you are in there, and I'll tell you when we get to those. I like to use a lot of different things during like this weird holiday time between Thanksgiving and our winter break. So I do a lot of review. Just like I did for Thanksgiving. If you watched my Thanksgiving Centers video, same kind of activities, just kind of going over what we've already done and just reinforcing basic skills. Some of these skills I'm teaching for the first time with these kids, but most of them are review. So I've got these great gingerbread men tracing number sheets. They're really big, so they're great for your 3 and 4-year-olds. I put them in these learning resources, little, I don't even know what you call these, little pouches that you can dry erase. So I tell the kids that we're going to let the gingerbread man find his house. We start at green because green means go. We use our dry erase marker and follow the arrows, and we stop at red because red means stop. And I'm pretty sure I showed you guys this little hack I have, but I use pom-poms to erase. So you erase with the pom-pom, we flip it over, and you've got another number. So we've got 4 over here, and we just do the same thing. We start at green because green means go, follow the arrows, and make a 4. So that is one activity, super easy. Another really fun activity that I have in my lesson plan is, sorry, I just hit my computer, is guess which one is different. So we've got these strips of gingerbread, like little emotion faces, and they have to pick which one is different. And it's really cute just to see the difference between my 3-4 classes and my pre-K 4-5. So they'll pick the different gingerbread man that they see. Ooh, of course, that one's upside down. And this is a hard one because they all have the same expression, but this one has the bow and the holly. So that is another fun center that the kids really like to do, and you guys will be surprised at how long it takes them to figure it out. I also have some little shape puzzles. When I print out shape puzzles, I print them out on cardstock, and I use a 5 millimeter laminated pouch, so they're a little stiffer and a better chance of sticking together. So I've got these little shape puzzles you put together. They make a shape, and they make a little gingerbread man. So we've got square, rectangle, triangle, oval, no, circle, sorry, circle. Yeah, teacher, teach thyself. Oval, we have pentagon, hexagon, octagon, rhombus, diamond, heart, star. Hope I'm not missing anything, but lots of different shapes. So the shape puzzle is a good way to bring the gingerbread man into a math center, but also review your basic shapes. Because we've probably taught shapes and done a couple of shape centers already, so just throw a different way to do shapes into the mix. Okay, now this little activity that I'm going to show you, it could be a math activity or it could be a literacy activity. It is called See It, Match It, and this one is in the Story Stretchers unit that I showed you. And what it is it's like that game Spot It. Now, I will have a little disclaimer. I found the algorithm on Google, and I followed it for 4 images, and I think there's 12 cards, but there is one that doesn't work. So whoever wrote the algorithm on Google, they messed up, and I'm just never sure which one it is. And I make these for lots of my units. So if you've ever played Spot It, you like flip one thing down and then you have to find the picture on the other card that matches. So you can see it's the fox with the gingerbread man in his mouth. So then you'd go and flip 2 more cards over and whatever. And the kids really like to play that. And you can make 2 copies of this to make it a bigger game because they will always all match up. But do it first on your own so you can find the one wonky card, and that will save you a lot of confusion during center time. Another fun math activity that my kiddos always love is I have these gingerbread men with gumdrops on their bodies, little candies. And we count them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And we have all these gingerbread houses in an array on the floor, so they have to match the gingerbread man to the house. So this one has the number 11. So this is where this little guy lives. So I have these 1 through 12. So you could also play a dice game with that. They could count the dots on the dice and then have to find the house that matches that array of dots that you counted up. But that is a really fun game for them to play. They've always liked it. It's weird. It's one of those counting activities that I put out that I go, are they going to like this, or are they going to be bored with it? They always love it. They love counting little gumdrops on the gingerbread man, and they love seeing if they can find the right house. I mean, the whole thing is cute and festive with the candy cane font for the numbers and all of that. And I keep everything stored in Ziploc bags, and I store everything in these long, flat bins. So sorry if you're hearing a lot of rustling and unzipping. So this is a count and trace. I do these for almost all my activities. I don't always do a count and trace activity. I just love to know I have them for my different themes in case I'm thinking, these kids are really ready to practice their numbers. So we count and we see 2 gingerbread men. We use our dry erase marker. We trace the number. We use our pom-pom. We erase the number. This is not as easy as that little pouch, but there you go. So that is another great little counting and numeral practice game. Just like most of my units, I like to have a counting book. And this is a simple 10 gingerbread men. I also have 10 tiny gingerbread men. I have a lot of these gingerbread men counting books. This is a backward counting book. So it starts with 10 and you take a gingerbread man away each time. And what I've done with these is I have a little set of 10 gingerbread people that I use with a 10 frame game that I'm going to show you in a minute. You can use those, but I have such a big collection of erasers that I use these little erasers, and I give them all a container. We lay 10 out on the table, and each time you take one away in the story, we count them all at first. We put one in our little dish, and that way we can count our little dish or container and see how many do we have, how many do we have left on the table. Is it the same as the book? So you've got math, you've got literacy kind of put together, and that way you're covering two different standards, a literacy standard and a math standard. So I showed you these little cards with the gingerbread people on them. So I have got 10 frames, just like my Thanksgiving unit. I've got a blank one and I've got ones with numbers. So I can read another 10 little gingerbread man book if I want to, and start with all of the gingerbread men. They fit perfectly onto these little rectangles. Anyway, what I like to do is I've got some cute number cards that I use. They go through 12 that I use for another thing that I'll show you. But I'll like pull out 1 through 10 and I'll pull out 1. Let's say I have 1. Show me 1 on the 10 frame. And then I'll pull out 4. Show me 4 on the 10 frame. Show me 5, whatever. I can also just use this as a Play-Doh mat and use it as a Play-Doh 10 frame. Either one. These are also in my lesson plan. The font is a little cuter than this, but these are there too. I'm actually doing this the first Monday of my unit. So I will be doing this little 10 frame activity with the kids because I know they enjoy them. And with my pre-K, it really helps them see what it takes to make 10 and how many empty spaces. So we count and do stuff like that. Okay, this is my spin, count, and graph gingerbread jobs. This is in this thing, the story stretchers activities. So I put one of those spinners from hand to mind. I just tape it here. You can also get some that section on, or you could poke a hole through here and make a little spinner. But we spin, we go, we might land on the waiter. So we can color with our dry erase marker. We can color, you know, each time we get one of these, or we can use like a button to mark the space each time we get it. Or my favorite is we can assign each column a color, and we can use Unifix cubes. So I like this because it's something that they can hold and manipulate. And like right now I've got, oh, which one has more? The waiter has more, but look, the farmer and the fireman, they all have 1, 2, 3, 4. They're the same, they're equal. So we can use a lot of math language with this game, and the kids really love it. But you do need a spinner for right here. If I were more prepared, I would have had one, but this is real life and I was not prepared. It's Saturday and it's in the middle of a football game that's really close, so I wasn't as on it as I would like to be. Another fun little math thing that I have that you can use, these little candy cane number cards I have these in color and black and white. So I have this gingerbread man that goes up to 12 and this gingerbread man that goes up to 6. And remember, I told you these number cards go up to 12. So you can flip a card and they can put a button. Let's say you flipped up 3. You could put a button on 3 right here. Or a piece of Play-Doh or a pom-pom. Just whatever you want to do. Or you can decide, since this is the 1 through 6, use dice. And then you can cover your gingerbread man. You can roll the dice and cover. Of course, you would use all the cards with the one that goes through 12 and 2 dice. So these are color, printed on cardstock, laminated, but I also have them black and white, and you can use daubers. So let's say like you draw the number 3 and you would want to mark it with your dauber. There are 2 3s. Ta-da! And you would do that, or roll the dice and mark your gingerbread man. So they're getting supertizing, they're getting counting, numeral recognition, like having to find more than one number. It's a super great activity. The kids love it. The black and white one's really fun because they feel like they're decorating their own gingerbread man, and they usually ask if they can take it home and color it. One thing I do want to show you that's actually in a different gingerbread man little set that I've made. I have differentiated math centers and literacy centers with a gingerbread theme. And this is from accounting and numeral recognition, one of these. So you see, you count the 2 gingerbread men, you find the number 2, you clip it with a clothespin. These go all the way up to 10. They're a good size for kids, are easy for them to hold. You probably would want to use bigger clothespins for younger kids, and this would be really fun and hard fine motor for pre-K if you wanted to try a tiny clothespin. But I have lots of different sizes of clothespins, so I just kind of choose when I know where the kids are on any particular day. But that's some of my math activities. There's also, you can just use the gingerbread men from the 10 frame game, and you can do an array of them out on a cookie sheet. So they're like little cookies, and you take that many away from the cookie sheet, or you put that many on. There's so many things that you can do. You can use the number cards for lots of things. You can use the little gingerbread men for lots of things. Just have fun. Just have fun with your gingerbread unit. And like I said, everything's in my All About Gingerbread or Close Read and Story Stretchers Gingerbread Man. I also have a lot of differentiated math and literacy centers in my TPT store under Teach Pre-K. So just find the category gingerbread and it'll take you to everything that I've got. Boom cards, the whole bit. I love gingerbread, so I've made a lot. So that is that. Thank you for watching and listening.